was Dr. Bissell and Dr. Malachi. We were the leading edge of outpatient surgery way back when the University Hospital said you cannot intubate people and send them home. You can't do it. And then 10 years later they invented outpatient surgery. We were heretics. But who would have believed since 1972 what could have evolved did evolve? And you suggested that I might have had to cut some corners for you guys with the college. The fact is, you guys and us were leading edge of outpatient surgery, actually in Western Canada and probably in all of Canada. We were so ahead of the curve, and I was always so proud of the fact that 7 surgeons could actually get together and run a place. I mean, you had to have differences, you had to have fights, but it never showed up in our work. Like, you guys all worked together so well, and I was always so proud to be able to work.
I love that. I love that.
No, it's true. And we had a great time. We had a wonderful time working together. It's one of the best memories of my life, and I'm sorry to see that we're sort of drifting away now, and we're not working together, but I love coming to work. I mean, that's something to say at age 72. Like, still wants to come to work. Right? I love coming to work to see you guys and the nurses, and it was marvelous, Patty. You've been a great manager, and we've had a couple before you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of the career we had there, the work we did, and I hope it continues on. I hope some of the young guys see the light and say, look, there is a critical mass to make a good surgical suite. And I've been to almost every surgical suite in Alberta for the last 30 years inspecting places. And I can tell you, this is the best there is. This is the best there is. In Western Canada, at least, I haven't done with the rest of the world,
Yes.
but you guys should be very proud of what you've done with this place. What we've all done together.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Sam.
And it's been a great career. I'm really proud of it.
Bravo. Bravo.
So now I get to talk.
Oh, you're going to talk?
Oh, sure.
Oh, why not? It's your turn.
Why not, eh? Well, thank you very much for making me part of this evening, and certainly, like Stan, there has never been a day where I've had to work and that I've gotten up in the morning and said, look, I don't want to do this, I don't want to go to work. I have had an incredible amount of fun over the course of my career, and it's partly because of the kind of work that I did, but also, I think more so the people that you work with, you know, the anesthetists, the nursing staff, the other plastic surgeons. You know, we've had an incredible group, and we had an incredible amount of fun. And I think part of that's because you know, most of the people that I work with, you know, we've been together for so long, right from the very beginning, from medical school, from training. You know, we've been through everything, and it's been a great trip. And you know, and as much as I miss the people and I miss the work, I have to admit I'm kind of enjoying retirement.
Good for you.
Good.
Gordy talking about Hill, you know, being flustered or whatever. You know, I can remember a case at the Royal Allied Hospital, and it was a patient that Hill was working on. It was a patient that had a large decubitus ulcer on his back, and so the patient was asleep on the table, had a tube in, everything was all organized, but I needed to move the patient a little bit to get it positioned for the surgery. And so,
That means turning the page halfway over.
yeah, so we asked him, is it okay to move the patient? He says, oh yeah, go ahead. So we moved the patient down, so the patient moved down about 6 inches, but everything that from all the anesthesia stuff stayed in place. So the tube came out, so now the patient is totally asleep, can't be ventilated, whatever. And I said, Hill, I said, the tube came out. He says, okay. You know, so you roll the stretcher in, so So he rolls the stretcher in, he casually rotates the patient back over, puts the tube back in, we put the patient back, and this is the kind of solid people that we work with. And I remember when I was much younger and we had little kids, Stan Olsen's girls were our recreational supervisors for our kids when they were young.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they would take the kids down to the Royal Glenora Club, and they would go to the pool and and supervise other sports activities. And we used to get more comments from other parents wanting to know where we got these girls from, and how on earth did you find these girls?
You can't
Because
have
they
that.
were amazing.
The Campbells put our girls through university.
So I just want to thank you guys again, and Marty, you couldn't get a better partner for you. I don't think we didn't have 2 crosswords in all the years that we
They
were
were like
together.
an old married
And
couple.
basically because
That's
Marty
nice.
kind of took care of you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true,
I
Dave.
just kind of worked away, and Marty took care of business, which was great.
I remember when you were doing your office again, and you had Jane, she was doing the interior design, I don't know, Patty, you maybe had something
Yeah,
to do
oh,
with
yeah.
that. And so Jane kind of looked at me and she, because I knew Debbie Whitmore, and so Jane was a friend, she's like, well, Patty's doing this and that, and I'm like, what are you doing? I said, frankly, absolutely nothing. Because I actually could care less what their office looks like, to be honest. And she says, yeah, but you can choose paint or whatever. I said, I could, but I don't have any interest in doing this. And I'm busy. So I said to David, fine, go to West End. I gotta choose a painting. I don't know, whatever. You can do whatever you want with your furniture. I don't really care. So,
It turned out pretty well.
well, I don't know. So anyway,
leave it to
Jane
Marty.
thought that was
Sometimes
really
I like
bad.
this so much I want to use
went
days
to
off
West-
instead of mine.
I went into West End and I saw this one painting. I was like, great, mine. So I said to Dan, that one, mine, the house. So I'm like, okay, fine. Now what else do you want? So I thought it was a really successful trip because David chose. Well, it was a hammerhead. It actually looked really nice. I got the one that I wanted, and it came directly to my house. David said to Jane, she's done. I thought it was a great deal, like perfect.
At any rate, thank you guys very much.
So there's